Two changes for the Knights. Jesse Southwell back from a head knock, but on the bench, squeezing Taylor Predabon out of the side. Sheridan Gallagher returns from a knee injury on the wing, but Abigail Roach, she is out with hamstring tightness. Well, the West Tigers, they have a couple of big losses. Rakia Horn, she misses with a head knock. Leanne Tafunga, she misses with a knee injury. Two of their superstar centres. So in comes Cheyenne McGlone, who's been playing in the second row this season, and Tess Staines is restored to the starting side. For Brett Camorley's team, New South Wales Sky Blues Origin coach Kylie Hilder alongside for the call. And Kylie, pre-game we saw Brett Camorley very hands-on with his Tigers backline, and you probably understand why, because of those changes.
Yes, good afternoon, Benny. What a cracking day here we have at Newcastle. But yes, we did see Brett out there during the warm-up, running through some plays with both edges against each other. So, yeah, Tess Staines been out for a couple of weeks. She's normally a winger, so she's coming into the centres. And as you mentioned, McGlone is normally a back rower. So they're going to have their hands full with the classy outside backs of the Newcastle Knights today.
Yeah, Kezia Apps, the captain, out with that PCL injury, so she'll be, unfortunately, returning to the NRLW next season, a couple of months out with that injury. But they do have Sarah Togatuki, who'll be leading them in the front row as Hannah Southwell leads out the Newcastle Knights, who beat the Eels last week 36-16. It was a dominant win for Newcastle after back-to-back defeats, and Evie Jones came in at halfback, and she has kept her spot in the side with Jessie Southwell having to come from the bench. So that probably tells you enough about her performance, Kylie, last week against the Eels in her coach's eyes.
Yeah, I think it's a great call. I think Evie really proved herself last week. The Newcastle Knights had a massive win against the Parramatta Eels. So obviously the coach not wanting to make too many changes in regards to that. So it'll be interesting how he utilises Jessie off the bench today. But, you know, he's only going with the two front rowers on the bench. So I know for a fact, you're speaking to Kessie before the game as well. Their game plan is that they want to try and get through the middle of the Newcastle Knights.
So the Premiers back at home on a sunny Sunday afternoon, taking on these West Tigers, who are looking for their first win of the season. And Sarah Togatuki, well, there's a statement right from the outset.
Clydesdale does week in and week out is unbelievable. She had 17 runs for 200 run metres last week.
Rima Butler now for Newcastle, playing the ball just inside the 40. They've made some good metres in this set. Georgia Roach controlling the team, the 5'8", with Southwell on the bench today, and this is bouncing up for Tess Staines. And Newcastle, oh, they're going to score! It's an absolute calamity for the West Tigers. Tess Staines has thrown the pass in her own in goal, and I don't think Hannah Southwell will score an easier try than that.
Wow. It was a great kick here as we watch from Georgia Roach. Great kick up in the air. She got herself in a position, let it bounce, just needed to take the tackle, but she not quite sure what she was thinking then, whether she got a call.
Doesn't look like it from that perspective. Didn't seem like there was a call from Tiana Lee Thorne. And Tess Staines, who was dropped for last week's match against Brisbane, restored with Rakia Horn and Tafunga both injured. And she's just thrown it straight to Hannah Southwell, who could not believe her luck. Christmas on the first day of September.
Yeah, I'm sure Tess will need to just shake that off now. It's early in the game, and Tigers will need to get themselves back into their grind.
So Roach, I should say Gallagher converts, who is back with, well, this year. And lately they've disappeared somewhat. So nothing doing there from the referee's perspective, and the Knights immediately shift it, and Sheridan Gallagher's on the outside. Good luck stopping Sheridan from there. 10-0 Newcastle. Massive danger signs for the West Tigers, because the Premiers are purring here in Newcastle.
For the West Tigers to get the defence set, but once again, Tamika Upton onto Evie Jones, and then it was just through the hands. And as you mentioned, Sheridan Gallagher, good luck stopping her at high speed. She's such a powerful player, and the Newcastle Knights go in for their second try.
Do I get in trouble for asking the question, Kylie? How close is she to rep selection? How close was she this year? Because obviously first season she was so impressive, wasn't she, in the NRLW, and just continuing that on.
Yeah, she was part of the extended squad that I had running into Origin 1, and yeah, definitely was pushing the other outside backs. Obviously, as you know, we're very blessed with outside backs in New South Wales, so...
Romanak, who has come on for Hannah Southwell, if you missed that injury, off with an ankle complaint in the opening minutes. Evie Jones, now to Upton. Parker, Sheridan's off again, and Sheridan, has she got a double? Yes, she has. What a return, back from a knee injury. She's got a double in a few minutes, and the Knights 14-0. They are racing the clock here at McDonald Jones Stadium.
Yep, and it's down that right edge again. So we look at this replay here. So Evie Jones onto Tamika, very similar to the try they scored previously. Just through the hands, and once again, Sheridan Gallagher, too strong. But that edge for the West Tigers on that left, they really need to start sorting out some line speed and getting up and putting pressure on those ball players, because that's twice exactly the same format and shape that the Knights have run, and they've come up with points. Yeah, it was something that Brett Kamali spoke about after last week, not controlling the ruck, allowing the Brisbane Broncos to play fast. So I'm sure that they're trying to slow the Newcastle Knights down.
Short side option for Newcastle. Roach on to Willison, who breaks free. Tanika Willison on the inside. Georgia Roach is going to score. 14-0 Newcastle. It was only a matter of time for the Knights.
On this edge here, Georgia Roach goes the line. Willison just breaks through a really easy tackle there from McClone. She should have made that tackle one-on-one. And Georgia Roach is backing up, gets herself a try.
Well, a couple of things out of this try and out of this start to the game from Newcastle. In a sense, this is some of the best footy we've seen from the Newcastle Knights, especially attacking-wise, even across those premiership years. But how much is it attack and how much is it West Tigers just being unable to defend? What's that now? 16 missed tackles, Kylie.
Yeah, you've just spoken about 16 missed tackles. You can't afford to miss tackle. It was a little bit of a effect of what happened last week in their second half against the Brisbane Broncos as well. From the Newcastle Knights, and great defence from the West Tigers.
Maynard, Higgins now in that roving position in the middle. Clydesdale accepting the pass off Upton. Back to Higgins. These offloads, they just have to be shut down by the Tigers. They're struggling to contain Newcastle. Roach, Willison skips on the outside. Lillian White.
Here, it's just a nice early ball out to centre, and once again, it's just a miss. One-on-one, McGlone on a centre. Should have made that tackle. Draws in the winger, and it's an easy pass off to Lillian White, who goes in for another try. But simple misses are just leading to tries for the Newcastle Knights, and something the Tigers really need to have a discussion about down there in that circle.
Well, that is inch-perfect finishing from Lillian White. You could see the legs were being hauled towards the sideline.
And so it's great work here from Georgia Roach, just giving a centre early ball, allowing her to beat her opposition centre, which was, we spoke about.
I had visions of what happened last week against the Eels, where she just spots that opportunity around the ruck and goes straight through. Well, that's what Parker's spotted here. Ball was stripped, so it's 6 more tackles. Georgia Roach has already got one, and she just ankle tapped on her way through. Romanak off the back, and still Kayla Romanak almost inside the 10. Space out to the right. Upton, Parker, Gallagher. This time she's got a double, Sheridan. Denied twice. Not a third time.
Yeah, another try to the Newcastle Knights, and just way too easy. Tamika Upton. We'll just look here for the strip. Gives them another set of 6 tackles, and as I said, just ball through the hands. Tamika onto her centre there. And Sheridan Gallagher goes over for her second try of the day, and I feel there's going to be more tries for Sheridan on that edge this afternoon.
I thought for a moment pass was going to be called back there from Shanice Parker, but referee, touch judge, said it was all good, and Sheridan's got a double. From the sideline, Sheridan, she hit that one sweet, right over the black dot. Southwell, Parker, Sheridan Gallagher wants to make sure of it and couldn't. And the West Tigers right on the stroke of half-time with some great goal line defence to keep Newcastle out. Maynard, Higgins straight at Ebony Pryor, and Ebony Pryor fell off the tackle, got the offload. Tigers have it though. The West Tigers come up with it. And Tamika Upton having to make the tackle, the fullback. As Pryor goes out of dummy half, and Ebony Pryor gets the West Tigers on the scoreboard finally.
Of quick play the balls here and a roll on that the West Tigers got. Then Christian Pio gets the football, breaks the line. She's hard to handle. They couldn't get her on the ground, wasn't held, got up and played it again. Tamika was caught in that tackle there. So she was out of position. And in the Harvey Norman replay, Ebony Pryor picks it up, and it's an easy try for the West Tigers dummy half. This is what she's so good at, Ebony Pryor, too, identifying when markers aren't straight or someone's not tight there at a defender, and she'll take her opportunities there. So as I said, we've seen Tamika was involved in that tackle.
Pilia Erasimbala converts, so injury, bit of hamstring tightness for her. Romanak, just a strong run from Kayla Romanak, and she's got it to the line. Straight off the tap, and Newcastle finally have some points in this second half. Kayla Romanak with her first try of 2024.
Her as well, just a tap here, hard run. 3 defenders there from the West Tigers. They just didn't have any urgency off their line. She's just bustled over the top of them. Tess got in front of her. But they'd given away a penalty with a strip ball, and they just needed some urgency in that set, and they didn't have it. Cheap penalties and then handing the football over the opposition as well. As we spoke about, they've done such a great job to get themselves back in this second half and had been the better team.
So Rima Butler.
In that set of possession, you've made direct contact to the head with moderate force, no mitigating factors. You're on report near the bin.
So Togatuki, who was going for a spell. Well, it's a packed house here at Newcastle. Can they give the home fans something to cheer about? With a try right on full time. Maynard, Vienna is charging. So close to a first NRLW try. Maynard almost too close. And players swarming from everywhere, and Montana Clifford got her by the collar. Southwell, Upton, Tamika Upton, powers away over the line. There's the fullback's try. A great finish from Newcastle. 34-6 the lead now.
Just see Tamika Upton, she can sense there's an opportunity, sweeps around onto this short side, backs herself, gets the footy, and just runs over the top of them. But as I said before, she loves to run down the short side. And it was just great work by Tamika Upton. Tigers had every right to stop her there. But she's such a threat, and as I said, she can just identify when there's opportunities. She was on that long side and could sense there was an opportunity. Edge defence or the edge attack from the Newcastle Knights, where they'd scored all their tries, especially down on this right edge with Shanice and Sheridan. As we see Sheridan miss her goal. So they'd done their homework during half-time. Shut down.
Maynard and Rima Butler happy to take that carry for the Knights. And it's the Premiers. Back-to-back wins for the Knights. It was comprehensive against the West Tigers. They raced out to a 26-0 lead at half-time.